No.
So pumpkins are coming up.
Are Blumpkins real? Come on.
No.
Like, are they?
We
They're
all
not.
have one friend
not real.
who says they got one.
No.
Who is
I
your?
was with,
Because I didn't have that experience.
I don't even have that friend.
I'm trying to
I
get
have that friend, and
Oh,
he is fucking weird enough that I could see it.
Huh.
Yeah, it's
All
a
right.
weird thing. I feel like the person that's doing that. I mean, I know we're not supposed to kink shame, but they have no self-respect.
Or they just really like the smell.
No, see, you
I mean,
didn't even finish the sentence.
there are people into scalp.
I'm trying to. I'm trying to explain.
I
it from
watched
all
Two
angles
Chicks,
here.
One Cup many times for science.
Was that real?
I don't think so,
No.
I
but
don't think so either.
No.
But it worked.
I mean, I don't know what it worked for you. For me, I just watched it with curiosity.
Yeah,
I did not watch it that was not for pleasure.
Because it worked for me for not being a thing.
E-fucked was
very,
great though.
very
Quickly.
You
You got Two Girls, One Cup. You had the jar. You had the guy sitting on the jar. Like, yeah, E-fucked back in the day was great. Early 2000s was awesome. But this is kind of, I had a conversation. So I was down in South Carolina seeing my family, and my mother wasn't feeling well on Saturday, so it was just my sister and her husband, Amanda, and I hanging out while the kids were, inside on screens and whatever. We're drinking some wine. My sister follows us on socials because good sibling.
Mm-hmm.
So we're sitting here, and she goes, "Why were you on the podcast with your shirt off?" And I thought, so the nice thing was on Instagram, if you haven't watched this clip on our Instagram of the Marry Fuck Kill breakfast, lunch, dinner, go over to our TikTok at Bring It Pod and go watch the full clip. It's fucking great.
And might I add, can I just add
yes,
that the Marry Fuck Kill there needs explanation. The breakfast.
Yes.
Just saying, because we were all over the place on that.
We were. I think
we didn't know if it was a type of food or a time of day.
We were cooking though,
and we did get it clarified by the end of the MFK.
Yes,
and
so don't just go making these. Don't go making your picks too soon.
Yes. The good old MFK. I mean that could be a whole episode. Is it the time of day or is it the foods? That is because we got a message after. It was on Instagram saying it's the time of day, and I'm like, no, it's not. It's the foods. We're talking foods.
Yeah, I got from a person that I did not think listened. I just wished him a happy birthday, and he's like, "Hey, thanks. It's been a while. I loved the breakfast talk in the last pod," and I was like,
"Oh, Jesus Christ!
Thank you." Oh, I'm gone.
Oh my God!
Did
you just? What are you doing?
First episode.
We're approaching
my goodness
the start of the third year of this podcast. We're what 3.5 months away from our debut episode, our anniversary episode, and Corey still has no idea.
For 3 years,
I got excited. It's all the sugar.
Wow,
it is. So I'm sitting there, and my sister asked me that. She's like, why are you there with your shirt off? And I'm like, somebody asked. She goes, what? I go, I was itching myself. I go, and it came up, and somebody asked on the stream, and she's like. I go, did you listen at all? I go, we weren't talking about sex or kinks. And she's like, what do you talk about on your fucking podcast? I go, well, didn't you see at the end of the clip where I'm saying, I'm not going to ruin it for people that haven't watched the beauty of the clip. I'm like, what I said at the end. And she's like, oh, Jesus Christ. No, I don't want to fucking hear about that from my brother. I'm like, oh, Kirsten, we lead very different lives now. We used to be similar, but now you're married. You're a Southern belle. We lead different lives at this point. She's like, your aunts support this. They've watched it. And I'm like, oh, they shouldn't.
Oh my goodness.
They shouldn't.
And you got on me for inviting everyone and their mother to it. You invited your aunt.
I didn't invite any family members. They found it.
They found it.
Oh, so yeah. So that was, my sister used to do a podcast with her husband about, I don't know, fucking family therapy. And it went well for them, but they stopped it. They only made it 35 episodes. Cute.
Child's play.
137 in.
I gotta say, 30. I never thought we would get to 35.
No, I didn't think we'd get to 10.
Yeah, I didn't think it was an idea, and then it was just didn't ever really think it was gonna happen. Then we did the first one. It was wild, and we were like, we got to keep doing this.
I don't think my liver could have handled if every episode was
Yeah.
like the first 10.
Tuesday nights are good because for me personally,
keeps you in
actually,
check.
because
Well,
it keeps me in check.
we
do
got
we
our
got here?
bets. We're doing first episode. Amanda's still in South Carolina. I needed these this weekend. I needed my pen, and South Carolina doesn't do legal weed or fucking legal betting, so I couldn't be on my DraftKings. And so I've got all my Arizona hard iced teas and my edibles. I'm gonna take the edibles later just because we saw what happens when I try to
Coward.
broadcast high.
We'll see when they
Coward.
kick it. And then the edibles kicked in.
Yeah,
All right, fine, fuck you.
there we go. We got him. We're back.
I'm so hard. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Break. We got ourselves an episode as usual tonight. We're gonna have actually. I'm going to be the only guy that's not a world champion here because San Jose fucking Sharks, we could never win the Stanley Cup. We made it there. We just couldn't win it. Fucking Thomas Hurdle had to get hurt, and then fucking Pickles had to get hurt back in, 14 where he got reverse swept by the Kings and whatever. I'm totally fine. I'm totally rational, and I'm over it. But anyway, we're going to have a big night tonight. SST's coming on, joining us here tonight. Tim LaPak is going to be joining us. Big run from the boys out west in Vegas, winning a 64-team tournament. But before we dive into it, D-Money, glad you're back off the road from fucking touring with whatever hairband you're with nowadays. What's happening? What you drinking?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Bring It. Because
I don't
didn't
think
get any of that because I think you were yelling so loud that your microphone was not picking it up.
Yeah.
You know,
We're only 137 episodes in, and J-Ro doesn't know how to use a microphone.
Get him. Get him.
You know what it was? You know what happened?
You're new?
I was using my Bluetooth headphones doing the league podcast with Colby Boulay, aka the Dump Truck Diva, aka Mrs. Rowe. I was in the airport. I put on an echo cancellation, reduce mic. I didn't take that off. I apologize. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much.
I already got you. So anyway, yeah.
We're
This
warming you up
weekend?
for next week.
Yeah. This weekend I picked up a 4-pack. Okay, and I got one here tonight. It is a Greater Good Greylock.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
It's an Imperial Nipa. Imperial Nipa. It's a Inipa.
Impa
Impa Nipa?
Yeah.
Imp Nipa. Imp
They got
Nipa.
shoes for that.
Yeah. I'm excited tonight. We got some world champs coming on.
Love that.
You know what I mean?
I'm gonna excuse myself when you guys are talking. I'll just go to the other room.
Yeah.
I'll watch from YouTube, and we'll be
The
good.
San Jose Sharks, that's cute and all. That that's cute. But we've got,
rings.
Losers
amateur
talk about
softballs in the softball players in the house, world champions.
losers talk about trying their best. Winners fuck the prom queen. J-Ro, okay? You talk about trying your best. We're over here with the prom queen.
Look at me. Do you think I ever fucked a prom queen?
I don't actually
I don't
know
know.
how you ever fucked.
Jesus.
It's my
Coco
turn
is
now. This is a
fucking-
world champion
Wow.
night.
There's a new sheriff in town. My
Wow.
goodness.
Jesus Christ! First
Next
off,
thing we're gonna see is this.
I'm the captain now.
No, that's not.
That was weird.
Fuck. You know what, Coco? It's a great question, and the answer is no standards. So Coco Rogers, what's happening, baby? What you drinking?
So I think it's kind of, we were talking about it earlier. I'm drinking another Kool-Aid here.
We were talking about it earlier, but that was off air. This is our normal weekly thing. Come on, baby, come get it. Don't break that fourth wall yet.
It wouldn't be an episode if you didn't not let me finish. But I'm drinking the
Hey,
grape
I'm trying to get mine.
with sugar and on deck so that I can fall asleep after. I have a tropical punch, 0 sugar, Kool-Aid jammer. That's what I'm
So
looking at.
that's what you were saying earlier. You were saying, I thought they were all just fucking straight sugar.
No, I couldn't do that. I couldn't.
Too much sugar.
I'd
Too many
be-
milligrams
Yeah.
of sugar.
I'd be up like it was an 8:30 game and I was raring to go. Too much sugar. I get antsy in the pantsy.
I was gonna say, you know what where I think this is stemming from, Jero, is I think it's stemming from league. Hayes as the 9 seed takes you guys down in the toilet bowl, and then they take the 2 seed down as one of 2 teams to reach the semifinals here. I mean,
Hayes
there's
is feeling good.
there's a
Coxman
chance
is ready.
if we face Buckley and have to take Buckley down in my playoff last like 3 series, 4 series, I would have beat everybody else on the podcast.
that's impressive because, oh man, it's a tough league to win in. It's a very, very tough league to win. But the last couple of years, I'm telling you, it's you and Andy show.
Mhm.
You guys are the key, apparently, because we got to the championship,
Mhm.
the 3 of us.
We
We
did.
lost to Jero that year.
Damn.
But yeah, it seems like you guys have the right combination of guys. I honestly, when I was watching those games, I was like, you guys might be like one of the best 10 that there are when you have all the guys there.
Stop it.
Well, we
Stop.
still have to get.
Just
I
in
don't.
case-
Still don't
just
think
in
we've had
case
all the
Mitch-
guys.
Just in case Mitch listens, don't say that, please. That's what I'm saying all fucking year.
Mitch is
I
not
got-
listening to this.
When I
No,
get my
he is
fucking
drunk.
10 there. Oh, Jesus. But anyway. Yeah, Coco was actually late at the field one night. Somebody chirped me. They're like, "Oh, you could have won the fucking playoffs." And I'm like, "Yeah, but you get me now. You get me broadcasting. You get me doing the PA. You're welcome. It's better that way."
Mhm.
So this finally came to New Hampshire, boys.
Is
Finally
it the iced
fucking happened.
teas? Oh,
Finally fucking happened.
I gotta
Yeah.
find these things. I gotta try. I lived off of these things in my early 20s, I'd say.
I
Late-
lived off of these
late
things
teens.
at
Yeah.
Le Pif in Sherbrooke, Quebec.
See, I not the alcoholic ones, but I loved just Arizona iced tea is just it's a classic.
You'll love these just as much. It's so the gas station down the street from me has both the 12-pack of the green teas and the mixed variety pack. We have now both in our fridge. And I'm just fucking taking care of business over here. I'm loving it. I gotta tell you, I did feel bad going into this weekend. I was away for the weekend. Obviously, it's you guys have kids. It's a weekend. When I started seeing SST going on that fucking run, and I started seeing them, 1-0. Oh, okay, 2-0. Oh, let's put it up on the feed. 3-0. Ooh, winners bracket quarterfinals. Okay, winners bracket semifinal. I'm like, fuck. The one time I gotta be away.
Mhm.
But I have my computer, and my family doesn't really like me that much.
I put it out there. I forgot the last time I got U-Trip Live was just for a week.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So
I was at the beach that day. Can I show? I am like.
why weren't you wearing a t-shirt, J-Ro? This is just fodder for the next family conversation.
There. And then like the underbelly is just fucking Casper white. Because big boys, the garage is true. Like it is hard to get tan underneath the overhang. But yeah, I was at the beach and I was seeing it. And I'm just like, fuck. Looking at this, and I started looking through, and I'm like, this was the only team from the area, really from the entire Northeast, that went out there for Vegas West Worlds.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like a Kevin Costner movie.
Probably didn't.
See,
do
the
well.
thing is, though, is that I feel like there's always one team that goes to this tournament, and it seems like they always get bumped every single year.
Because the process last year got bumped.
I want to say there was another team the year before that too.
Coco, what you got? Looks like you're ready to jump in here.
Did Killa go?
That didn't Killa got bumped.
Killa got bumped last year out
Killa
there.
got bumped.
It was
And
Killa
the
process.
did.
Process
And the
was
process
last
was
year
the
or
year
2 years
before.
ago. Yeah.
2 years ago.
I thought process was last year.
Yep.
But
Killa.
yeah, they both got bumped, and it's oh no.
Oh no.
Trying to see
sorry-
where you're
sorry,
going with
guys.
this. It's all right.
It wasn't. You
Oh,
know how
boy.
business is for me. I just got a text from a guy I placed about 2 months ago. I'm just like, oh no.
Okay.
It's not a good time to get a text from somebody out west.
No. No.
Anyway.
No, we will be talking about the West, but we're not talking
Yeah.
about text messages from the
Yeah,
West.
sorry. I don't look at my phone typically during the show, and it's charging and it came back to life. So yeah, this was the only team from the East that made it. Timmy's going to be joining us here shortly. He is working tonight, but he's going to be stepping away to talk about the weekend that was in Vegas. I guess the first thing here with the Vegas, it's a 64 team tournament. A lot of the teams are California, Arizona, Nevada, that whole West Coast, Utah. Looks like there is one or two from Texas, which I'm surprised more teams from Texas aren't going to go out there. And that's really it. Honestly, no. Jesus Christ, no
So
Colorado teams.
Yeah, historically, it's been a smaller tournament. So it's like the East. I mean, they used to just have one. I think we played in the last one in 2017, and then since then they do the East, the West, and the E's used to do a Central.
There's one in Texas this weekend. I don't know if it's the West Coast. Minnesota or Michigan used to have one. North.
Right. Yeah. Michigan used to have one. The West had one, and then East had one. And I mean, I was looking at it, and this brings up the question too, is like, with those, are they going to do like ASA used to do, or we thought they did, and send all of these teams to, what is it, Barcelona?
Right.
Yep. How great is that?
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think ASA used to do top 2 or whatever.
Two to I think 4, because I think Fat Man, when they went down, was it KLN?
Yeah,
they went down. I think they were top 4 in Virginia, and they went out.
Gotcha. I thought there were 2, but either way, it's still it's an awesome idea. I think.
Yeah.
You also wonder what that actually means. Well, are you getting like just the entry fee? Like, who knows? It's such a new thing, you know what I mean? Because that's a big expense, I feel.
No, it's not. It's cheaper to fly from JFK to Barcelona than it is JFK to Vegas.
JFK, but I did look at Boston, and it wasn't.
So, well, I'm just looking out. And Tim's here. Tim's working tonight. Tim, let's get you on here. Congratulations.
Congrats, buddy.
Congrats, man.
I appreciate it.
Look at this.
Wild weekend.
Fucking, that is like, that's a hell of a fucking run. Like a couple early tight games and then making a run there. You kind of go in a little unassuming. 13-11, 14-11 in record. I've always thought you guys are probably better than what your record has shown throughout the year. Playing against you guys and knowing you guys. But what you did, I don't know if anybody really expected you to go out and run off, 7 in a row?
7 in a row, and it was, I mean, we had the comeback were huge. That just built momentum, and we had that mentality that nobody was stopping us, nobody could get in our way. The competition was good, it was strong out there. It was true D, not like you see in Florida, where you got a lot of the sandbaggers and the guys that get reclassed just for the weekend and whatnot. There was very good competition, but it felt just more, where we belong and who we should be competing with, compared to the B conference players that play D for a weekend.
Well, I'm glad
we've never heard about anything like that.
I know what you're talking about.
I'm glad you brought that up, because that was definitely something we wanted to talk about. And we actually set it up for Coco, because he's the teacher in us, and I'm I'm the least polished.
I word stuff.
It was more of, what was that competition like? Because you look at the runs you went through. You run ruled 4 of the 7 teams, I believe. You run ruled the team you beat in the finals twice.
Yeah.
But hearing that it was more of a straight D, you don't have this like surprise Georgia team, and you're seeing like Austin Dawes show up, or you're a surprise Florida team that's 2-2.
Exactly.
That makes a lot of sense.
A surprise Florida team that's 2-2 that have only played 1 tournament all year. But no, it was like we were playing a DNIT. Like, it was all very strong, very good D teams. It was just, it didn't matter who you put in front of us. It could have been one of those B conference teams. We were answering everything. We were taking advantage of every opportunity. We played small ball to win. We did just, everything went right for us. Everything was going in our direction.
Well, I think that's the other thing too. I look at you guys and I feel like when I've seen SST be dangerous, and when you don't want to really be in the other dugout against from you guys, is when you're all vibing and you've got that flow going. When you have that vibe going, the headbands are flowing, the hair looks fucking perfect, the eye back's gorgeous. Okay, Tucker, I'm looking at you. That is a team that is tough to beat, because you're just on such a same like plane, and that's what it sounds like for this whole weekend.
The whole even at home, everything. We didn't go. Well, we didn't have time, but we didn't go out anywhere. We went home. We got dinner together. We partied together, and it was all like we all had tunnel vision all weekend. It was no distractions at all, which I think is another reason why I liked going to Vegas so much. Is we didn't know a single person there, so there was no distraction. I didn't care who. I didn't have to run to the other field to see how dirt dogs were doing or anything like that. It was nobody we knew. Everybody treated us with respect. We treated everybody with respect. We go in a game not knowing anybody, so we weren't worried about anything. We just played our game, and we really did. We vibed all weekend. It was like nobody was on our level.
And having gone out there before, that's tough at Big League Dreams because, I mean, they have the little bar overlooking all of the field. Like you can get yourself in some trouble there if there's a delay or anything.
Yeah.
And you have fucking Vegas at your fingertips. So
exactly.
The fact that, you clearly went in with it with the right attitude. You guys showed up, you showed out. Just even being able to do that is almost tip of the cap, because have you guys gone out there as a team to play in Vegas before?
No, this is our only second year as a team.
Okay.
we just started last year, and but no, we all talked about it. A bunch of the guys went out Wednesday night, so they went out and had the Vegas fun.
Yep.
And the rest of us, most of us got there early Thursday. We had fun. We went out. We rented a field, did some BP, and went back to the house. And we still relaxed by the pool and got dinner and everything. But I brought all my uniform. And I brought some clothes to go out, and I didn't even take the clothes out. I literally didn't even change out of softball stuff all weekend. And we were 100% focused, and we were literally all on the same page, just ready to bring the next game.
You wear clothes other than softball gear?
Well, yeah, sometimes.
Occasionally.
Mix it in sometimes.
It's a pair of black softball pants that he wears out when he feels feeling froggy.
Shit, I guess that's where I am in my marriage, where it's just like, yeah, all right, this sub dye looks better than that full dye.
If you knew me, everybody that's listening is probably like, no, you don't. Maybe a basketball jersey, but that's it.
No, and that's definitely, I think, sometimes where, listen, you're going out there spending money. Like I said, flights to Vegas aren't fucking cheap. Like, it doesn't matter. You're going out, and it's another tournament. Like, and that's kind of something we've consistently talked about, especially if you're traveling for tournaments. Go out there, prepare. It's business. Like, as long as you're all on the same page, you can fuck around after.
Exactly.
Vegas is going to be there, but getting a chance to go out and actually perform at a high level is not always going to be there. And I think that's kind of what you see. Hey, some teams can do the partying and playing very well. Some can't. It's all
we have a good balance on that. I don't expect my guys to be straight edge, honor students the whole weekend. I certainly am not, but we control it. If and we're all very respectful during the tournament. If you're drinking a little too much from the game and you're not feeling it, everybody comes up to me. Everybody's completely honest, and vice versa. And that's been just the vibe we've had all year. Has been pretty good, but this weekend it was like we were all just completely on the same page.
Now, are you guys going to Florida too?
We are not. We actually decided to go to Vegas because we had a couple guys that were unavailable that weekend. Some of our core players and stuff. So that's why we decided to try Vegas.
I like it. Go to Vegas. Go get
right.
yourself a ring. Get yourself a trip to Barcelona and get bumped. So now with this Barcelona opportunity, you get the fee paid for, and like I said before you were jumping on here, and this is this is just October 29th to November 7th. Like, I'm looking at flights from JFK where it's $300. Like, it's not a bad thing. There's obviously going to be, but are you guys going to go to Barcelona? That sounds like a hell of an opportunity.
It really does. I have to reach out actually after this podcast. I have to reach out and get more details on it. I know obviously the bid is paid for and everything like that. We got some guys that are strapped with time for work and families and money, so it'll all depend on that with all the details. We did somewhat raise the concern to Tim, the director out there, and he said, no, don't worry about it. You're going. So I
Nice.
got to get more details. I'm going to make a call after this. So we'll figure it out. We're going to try our best.
If
That's
you
awesome.
That would be an excellent opportunity.
Yeah,
And it would be so
absolutely.
cool just to experience that.
if you want some muscle behind you, you can make that phone call right here on this episode. We'll bring them on.
Okay. I'm not there yet.
Fuck, can you imagine that? That'd be something right now. No, I think that's great. What a great way. I know you're working tonight, so I want to respect that time. You just kind of let me know when you want to bounce. But I think going out there, being the only team from the East, now this is back to back years where we're seeing teams from the East go out and get bumped. I guess if you don't want to get bumped, don't go to fucking Vegas. But if you want to go out there and go play some strong ball, like we've got a guy that Coco met at the Challenge Cup this past year from Washington, Brandon Boyle, in the comments here saying that the Pacific Northwest it's very regulated out there. It's not as much of what you see in some states
That is
like that.
that is a very good point. There was the team that we played in the championship Sunday morning. They were just running through teams, and I was like, all right, we have our hands full. But the game before us, the director of the tournament actually paid his own money to check rosters because he didn't believe one of the guys. All checked out. They were legit, but
Jesus.
they're that serious about it where, they won't rely on a team to do it. He stopped the game to protest, and I respect that. I appreciate that because the kid was making a lot of noise, and he would just look flawless out there. And he, very good ball player, but he was legit. It's all you can do is just double check.
Well, I think that's the nice thing. You being in Connecticut with JB, we played down in Mass and with Hickey a lot. Like I think we get spoiled here a lot with these two directors. We all hear the bullshit of other places. We all question certain things when we go and travel and see other stuff that happens. So it's nice to hear that there's another part of the country as well that's kind of doing it to what we're used to here in New England to an extent at least, which is
I want to, not just the directors, they were fantastic. Every one of the umpires was amazing. Everybody was respectful of the other teams, even the random people we met, like the cashiers at the convenience stores. There was a few homeless people that reached out to us and, cheered us on because we had our uniforms on. They're like, wow, you guys look awesome. Like everybody was so nice and so respectful out there. It was unbelievable. It was so easy to be friendly and have fun with everybody. Like every game was just fun. It wasn't like oh God, here it's going to be, nitpicking and everybody talking shit to each other. There was none of that at all. It was unbelievable. It was literally just having fun.
I love that. SST showing up to Big League Dreams with a they got the van full of the boys and then they got a van full of the homeless guys for the the fans. I saw you guys had a pretty good contingency that traveled with you out there too. Outside, I mean, you had a football team roster, but it looked like you had a pretty good group of significant others, family members that all came out as well.
All year, we've had a lot of support from everybody, and obviously while we were out there, everybody was messaging us and everything like that. So can't thank everybody enough for that. But our significant others, especially, letting us do this each weekend and be supportive of it is awesome.
No, it was fun to see. Loved seeing, and again, playing against you guys. I've played against you guys more than these two have, but at least this year and last year. But it's always fun to be around your team. The vibe's always nice. The hair's always in good shape. Like that's a low hanging fruit joke to head out of here. Like Tucker fixes
how we're
his hair
known.
fucking like
How we're
7
known.
times a game. But no, it was great to really keep an eye on you. And like I said, I was in South Carolina, kind of just the way the weekend was following. Unfortunately, didn't get a chance to broadcast you guys, but was really hoping to, just because it's awesome. It's awesome when we see teams leave here, regardless if it's e-ball all the way up to conference ball, go out, do something special, make a name for the ball in the Northeast. Where I don't know, I think it's coming along, but I feel like we get left out here in New England.
Yeah, I agree. It's kind of like we're our own little island, but I feel like we are branching out and starting to make some noise around.
Well, that's
and
awesome.
hopefully in Barcelona soon too.
Listen, the Spanish wines are delicious.
I'm down.
I thought they have a big tournament. We're paying attention to the tournament out there.
We are, but that's when you extend the trip after the tournament. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Dustin, it looked like you wanted to jump in real quick. You good?
Then he froze.
He's
I
frozen.
probably froze. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Tim, listen, I appreciate you jumping on. I know you're working right now, so thank you so much for joining us tonight. Is there anybody else you want to thank? I know. Let's see, SST. I've got some. What are your sponsors? Why don't you give all your sponsors a shout out? Anybody else?
Yeah, I was going to say SST, Groggy Frog, TES. I am freezing on their name. The Entrepreneur Source, I believe. We got Blue Line Beast. We have a handful of supporters and sponsors, which I can't thank enough. We literally wouldn't have been able to go out there without them. So, and I want to thank everybody on my team. We all had a piece of this. We made a lot of moves all weekend, and everybody picked each other up. That was our big goal all weekend. Is doesn't matter if an error happens or a DVO, you're obviously not doing it on purpose. So, everybody picked each other up and stay strong, and we did a great job of that. So I just want to thank everybody from the supporters that were watching us, our significant others, sponsors, and the team.
Awesome. Well, Tim, thanks so much for joining us here tonight. Congratulations again. Thanks for making some noise and doing some great stuff for New England softball. And hopefully we'll see you at maybe one of these fall tournaments before the end of the year.
Yeah. Sounds good. We'll be there. Thank you, guys.
Appreciate it. See you, buds. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, that was great. Hold on. We gotta.
You have to move me around.
I don't know what's going on with my internet here. I'm chatting over here. It's not good.
Go ahead, Coco.
So for anyone that's wanting to see that SST championship game, USSSA put that on their Facebook page as their live game. So you can go back. I know I was able to watch that last half inning, kind of put it in our group chat, where they just fucking hit the hell out of the ball and left the other team out on the field to win the tournament. So that's out there if you want to see how good these guys play.
The winning run that came across for the run rule, the edible's kicking in.
Bingo. Boom.
I had to watch it 3 or 4 times. I'm like, wait, what just happened? Because it wasn't really very exciting. Mm-hmm. It kind of, and then I finally figured it out. It took a minute because it was kind of like a delayed reaction. But real quick, want to give a shout out to Tommy Roy, the tournament MVP, Roger Moore, the defensive tournament MVP, Timothy LaPak, the all tournament manager. Look at that. We had the all tournament manager on. And then we got Matt LaPak, Tim LaPak, Matt LaPak again. We're going to go with Tucker. I think Tucker was one of them as well. Phil Rogers. Nice to see Phil Rogers bouncing back after that bad ankle injury with checking 2 years ago. And then Charles Romanos. So, congratulations to those guys with the all tournament teams. I'm not reading out the boys from out west.
No.
Just because A, it's a Hispanic name, and B, they don't listen.
All right, although
we do have Seattle, we have Washington in the comments.
We do have Washington. Brandon Boyle is here. So
and I would just love to hear the pronunciations.
All right, here we go.
Can we? No, we don't have to.
The offensive tournament MVP from the Blazers Onyx, Marcos Castaneda. That was actually pretty good. And then Tucker
that was nice.
I saw Tucker on Facebook. I don't know if he got a bat deal with Onyx, if they gave him a bat, if they're now an affiliate, if he's partnering up with them. Paul Moore got all tournament as well. Website is messed up. So Paul Moore, congratulations to on SST is getting all tournament as well. But I think Tucker may be working with Onyx. I don't know. Okay. A, could have asked his brother. B, just going off of Facebook, which is always the right thing to do.
Mm-hmm. It's the only thing more accurate than the UTRIP website.
Fuck.
And the ASA website.
Yeah. SST, Groggy Frog, TES goes 7-1, and they run through the bracket undefeated, but their results are 7-1. And Dustin's gone again.
He's out. But is it your edible? Is this Inception?
Stop it. I'm not that fucking high. I only took a 5
Dustin's still there on my side. He's been here the whole time.
I hate you. They put up 134 runs. They allowed 105. Doesn't seem right. Yeah.
There was one extra game in there, I think.
Yeah, it had them at 7-1 with the loss. But
yeah.
But they didn't lose.
No. But they did not lose. No, I wanted to ask questions. But it didn't work out for me. He had mentioned a comeback And if you look at those first 2 games,
Yes.
they were both won by 1 run.
Mhm.
After you're sitting 2-0 in a world tournament and you just won 2 either comebacks or walk-offs.
Yep.
I mean, that starts to just the confidence starts to go. And he said, there was a point where no one was beating us.
Yep.
And Coco and I had that same. I mean, there was a point where it was like, we just know.
Yeah. No, and it was one of the things I was looking at too, but he was kind of talking about it a lot. So someone in the comments saying down 10, they walked off both of those 1-run games. At that point, you're just taking your dick out and slapping people with it. And you know it.
And that's when they started like rolling teams too.
Yeah.
They were like starting to mix in a few run rules. So
Well, and that's a thing, right? When you win those, this is something I've always looked at, back when I was in hockey and in these types of situations as well. When you face tough games, when you're in tight games, like how you respond, how you continue to move forward and go from there. And like when you see a little bit of adversity and go that way, how you respond shows a lot about the character of your team, character of who you're playing. They were down 10 in one of those games and both were walk-offs. Like, fuck me.
And I
that's
think
huge. Those are huge types of wins.
That is a Blue Chew dick hard moment after that.
I would look at it as too, and when you win those local, the teams all still know exactly who you are. So while they're going to be a lot of momentum for your team, I feel like the other teams aren't going to look at it the same. But I know if I'm looking at a team I've never seen before, I see them down 10, I'm going to start thinking less of them. Then I watch them come back and walk off a team. Now I'm starting to look at them as like, shit, we literally have to get up on them by 20. And I think that out in it where you don't know the other teams, so there's that aspect of it, and you're like, shit, these guys, because nothing phases them, is all you can think. So I mean, without a doubt, that's got to be the key. Obviously, you have to win every game like they did, but when you can go out there and just dominate, that's a hell of a run.
And I'm telling you, we played them. I played them earlier in the year and beat them in like a 26-22 ball game, something crazy. I mean, I'm talking early in the season.
Mm-hmm.
But I went on the field and I was just like, if they're vibing, they're fucking hard to beat. Like that's a team where you don't want to get them vibing. You don't want to wake them up. You want to try and keep them sleepy. And if they're showing up to the field with that vibe, they are hard to beat. It's just one of those teams that they carry themselves well.
Now, welcome to see.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
Yeah, and I mean, the other good thing that I liked hearing was that the West Coast teams were all pretty well regulated. You can kind of tell because there's a lot of like teams from California that travel even to Florida at times. You know what I mean? And then you're seeing, what is it, Utah, Arizona. You're seeing all those teams down in Florida as well. So
put up 11 with 2 outs.
That's incredible. That's incredible as one of the first 2 games. Yeah.
Let alone and listen, not to throw shade to D-ball, but in D-ball as well, putting up 11 with 2 outs. Like that's D-ball, C-ball. That is
D-ball with 2 outs is the same as C-ball with 2 outs. Is the same as.
Well, yes, but if you have home runs, without any home runs, there's that little bit of a difference.
I'm just saying with 2 outs at the end of the game, they're all the same game.
Right? I still think you can't hit an accidental.
You got to hit.
You can't hit a solo.
You got to hit.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm saying that at the end of the game, whether you have 2 home runs in each division, they're all the same thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's literally the only situation.
Yeah. No, I know. Like you put up 11 runs.
You just got to hit base hits. You
Even
can't hit home runs, and you need to get on base.
Anytime you're left out on the field like that, you guys, National Gold, put up 12 on us with 2 outs earlier this year. It's just like like when any team at any level, I guess the thing is like thinking about like the high, like with a conference, like, okay, that's where I guess the line is because they'll put up 11 with nobody on, like they'll put up with all singles. But when you put up 12 with 2 outs, 11 with 2 outs, it is a fucking demoralizing thing. It's you're getting cuckolded at that point.
Especially when it's base hits, even if a team has home runs left, and they're just base hitting you, and they don't use a home run, or they use one home run and score 11 runs, you're like, ooh, that inning hurt.
Yeah.
Even 9-7 sometimes with one home run, that hurts.
It is. No, that was. It was a fun one to watch. I know this is gonna sound crazy. We should hire them to do our social media. Like, they do a great job with their social media. They got photographers at their games. You know, a couple of significant others there. I don't know. It's a team I don't see a ton just because of being in Connecticut. But I'm telling you, you had the chance to play against these guys. They're always fun to play against. It's one of those. They're kind of like an MP Sports Cards. I know I talk about MP Sports Cards a lot. SST is very much the same. Where, like, I just love playing against them. Good bunch of guys. Play ball hard. They have fun doing it. They got some flavor to them, and I fucking, I love all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's just awesome to see that a New England team winning a D. I don't remember if I've ever seen a U-Trip D team win. Can you, Hayes?
We just talked about, didn't Killa do it last year?
No,
Killa
they
did
didn't
not win.
Oh, okay. They just so them in the process
They got
just got bumped
bumped.
as a D
Yeah.
team. No,
I can't remember it since playing
No.
a team, but yeah, I didn't know a lot of the teams, I guess, in the Rhode Island and Connecticut area,
Right.
for a lot of the beginning of my career, I guess I would say.
I'm pulling it up real quick. Last year's Worlds was.
I think Killa came in like third or something like that.
Okay.
It was a little bigger as 83 teams versus the 64 this year. I mean, that's not anything. 20 teams, sure, but still 64 team tournament you're winning.
Mm-hmm.
Killa came in 5th.
Oh, okay.
Process came in 7th.
Okay.
Process was also at that one last year.
Yes, so they came in 7th. They went 5-2. Killa went 5-2. They both got bumped because of the top 10%.
Yeah. that makes
Oh,
sense.
and it was 8. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
And this
7.
one had 2. I think there was supposed to be. Honestly, I think there was supposed to be 3 New England teams going out, at least that I know of. Two. I don't know if backed out's the right word, but the schedule's changed.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And it looks like last year there was a Florida team. Like, it looks like it was a little more diverse. I don't know. Like, I'm sorry. Like, going to Vegas and playing in those that worlds out there looks pretty fucking great. Like, I would, if you can swing both worlds, why not?
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, they're not, because they're gonna probably do
No, I'm not.
Barcelona if they can.
Yeah,
But I mean,
no,
it's
get
one
that.
of those things, like, yeah, plan for it, I guess. But
Yeah.
when you're not looking at doing both worlds is a lot, especially for a D team. I think where they might not be seeing the same type of sponsorship opportunities as some, even as a C team, it would probably be hard, but I don't think they do it.
That might be like 1,300 just in flights between those two tournaments. 13
Per person.
Per person?
Correct.
Yeah.
So, like, that's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it's a tough. It would be tough to do both for sure.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that Barcelona thing pans out well.
Yeah.
You guys need a bookkeeper. I'll go.
I'm hoping so too. So the where I was coming from with the entry fee only was in the comments. USSSA commented just entrance fee. So it sounds like he's going to talk to someone from Vegas, and that guy's going to help him out. Which hope so, because that would be really rough if you hype this. I mean,
How many teams do you think would go if it's just entry fee?
Yeah,
entry
if it's $450, $500 entry. Like, that's not.
You're not going with your team.
No.
That's it. You're not going with your team. You're going with guys. Like, you're picking. It's going to be a paper roster basically at that point, because like Tim was saying, PTO and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah,
And it's in March.
Oh,
It's in March when you already have next year's teams.
right. Well, I mean, most teams have next year's teams already anyway.
That's true.
Right now.
What?
that's
What the fuck
always
is going on here? Where's
I don't know.
my phone
Man.
doesn't fucking ring.
I don't know.
The fuck
I
is
hear about it and I'm like, no, I don't have plans for next year until after this year's done.
That's crazy.
Why would I want to do that? Why would I want to start thinking about next year?
I will
Wild.
tell you, it's actually, I feel like it's I don't know, at least from probably D, you're probably going to correct me here. And it makes sense that but the potential level you could play at. I feel like it's quieter. I felt like last year at this time I heard a fucking ton about the next year, like at all levels.
Yeah, I don't know.
Paying attention.
Yeah, maybe we're not paying. Maybe we're disassociating from.
Fuck your
We're-
rumor mill.
We're turning off. We're turning off our screens more. Maybe I don't know.
We're just guys that like to talk shit and drink.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. It does it seem. I mean, so this is the second world tournament that we're actually looking at. I looked at the One Nation World that we went to with Smoke. That was down in numbers from the year before.
Huh.
This World West, you said, is down 20-ish, 15 to 20-ish. That's not great.
No.
Seeing both of those. And then Wally, I just heard Wally's canceling Wally's Worlds this weekend. Is
Wally's
it just
Worlds this weekend? Oh.
Yeah, this coming weekend. Are people just not wanting to play softball anymore? Is that what we're looking at here?
No. Is there
Are we
too
looking at a
much-
decline? There's no rumor mill net for next year.
I'm so
Tournament team, tournament numbers are down.
Keep me out of the rumor mill. All right. Let's do this. All right. This is what we're doing real quick. I'm taking a look at going to what's it called? Barcelona. I'm just
Barcelona.
We're gonna go the 6th to the 12th.
Why don't you show us and let us follow along with you?
Because I'm fucking terrified of what might pop up on my screen.
That's
I'm just
fair.
saying, because this content is not great. Listening to you search the web.
So, this is just real quick. Look at this. And these aren't when the cheapest flights are going to be this far out, but you're looking at teams might fold tomorrow. What? But you're looking at $500, $453 to go to Barcelona. Obviously, this is not going to be great flights, but $453. That's not bad, right? Like, so you know what I mean? Like, so, but to go to Vegas, so let's do the same time frame. Please don't fucking blow up in my face. Please don't blow up in my face.
Barcelona.
Why do you keep taking off from JFK as well for a New England podcast?
Because
SST.
that's just
Because we're not going out of
thing.
fucking Bradley. We're not going out of Bradley. I mean,
Looks a lot cheaper.
So
I
$300
don't know.
instead.
This is not a great.
Fuck, it just blew up in
Yeah.
my face.
Oh.
But I'll tell you, like last year when I was looking at going overseas for staying within the country for like Thanksgiving, but we weren't looking on Thanksgiving dates. It was kind of around there. And even still, like in the summer, it was cheaper to fly internationally than it was to fly within the States. So anyway, congrats to the boys. SST, congrats. Fucking just, you're a sexy team, both on the field and in the shower. So.
And it sounds, I mean, second year together, this team is definitely going to play C's next year together. You know what I mean? Like they're gonna pick up a couple guys, probably kind of make that.
Oh boy. I think what he's trying to say is kind of make that jump to the next level and get some of those guys to fill. That's not what you were saying. Was it?
I'm just so over this feeling now.
Can I rename you? No, I can't. Interesting thing in the comments here. Something we haven't done. We're changing up the show a little bit. Got some good feedback from the people. Interesting. Mikey Snyder. Teams might fold tomorrow. Crying, not the slanty crying, not like the rolling on the floor crying a laughy face for the people listening on the podcast. Just the crying laughing face. And then next comment, I can say a lot. LOL. He's laughing out loud too. So he's crying and laughing out loud. Does this have something to do with this? I saw a post before jumping on by Josh Kirsten as well. Being cut by MPT yesterday or today. Is this kind of in the conference season? Are teams making their final moves? Also, Josh Kirsten, you have an amazing beard. Is this kind of what's going on? D, you're a conference guy. Yeah, not your internet.
His internet's conference internet.
But this is interesting because I was reading this. A lot of shit you wouldn't. God, Mikey Snap.
So I will say that I can remember in years just hearing that there is so much going on and so many people that upper level teams are trying to pick up the whole time.
Yeah.
And if they can grab them, they grab them.
Okay.
Which would at least fit this narrative that we're building, allegedly.
Are we building it? Or
We're
is it being built and we're not the rumor mill, we're just reporting on it?
We're investigating.
We're investigative journalists now.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. Exactly what we are. No, but this is interesting.
So
Dustin's
bad.
back and he's so defeated.
This is just so bad.
The content or your computer? Both? I might take another edible for you.
Jeepers. I can't tell if he's trying to talk or not anymore.
Yeah, I'm doing it.
This is the worst. Yeah,
Okay,
I feel
You're
yeah.
live.
Oh, I'm live.
Oh, yeah,
Are we
you're
live?
good. Yeah, you're.
Am
you're
I a
here.
cat?
Call back.
What a weird thing. I feel like my internet and J-Ro's edible experience tonight is kind of on the same wavelength.
We just kicked it up a notch too, so hopefully your internet doesn't follow me.
I saw that. Yeah, I might explode.
Oh, here's an auto tune over there.
You look like me doing the fucking game changer of the border battle. Oh, fuck. All right. Well, speaking of crazy things happening in the world of softball, Dustin, Mikey Snyder's here talking about some teams that may fold tomorrow. He can say a lot. He's really holding those eyes closed. Yeah, well, maybe we'll just bring Mikey Snyder on instead of you, Dustin. See ya, buddy. Fuck Dustin. It's weird to say it, but Dustin, I love you, but you may just be you might be out of the show today. Wow. Where did you never thought I would have ever fucking actually say that out loud.
No, I don't record much of our stuff to clip, but I just did that one.
You should probably clip that one real quick. I even know Dustin's internet is so bad. I went to the 2-person overlay.
Oh, boy.
So here is so we got the conference championships this weekend in Indiana. It is going to be it's going to be in Indianapolis. So first off, Corey, I don't know these fields in Indianapolis. Do you think they're going to be using the coconut husks as they were using in home of Don Mattingly in Evansville, Indiana?
I don't think they're going to have to. I think they're going to have good stuff. They're just going to take whatever used to be in whatever the dome is that the Colts playing. They just take the leftovers of that, and I think they just lay it out.
They just cut some fields out of it.
Yeah, it makes a nice little complex. Maybe they're using the football stadium.
They're using the old RCA dome.
Yeah, okay. I thought it was the RCA, and I wasn't positive. Yes.
So from around here, the only team locally that is going to be PF. So they start on Friday at 4:30. SST again. I'm sorry, I was away. This isn't a conference thing. We're going to be broadcasting PF because we got the Connecticut Crusher, Tyler Barrett.
Yeah. And it is. I mean, if we're around and we can do it, that's always been our thing. We'll be around. We can do it.
But I will tell you, this weekend, I don't think I'm going to have a wife. She's going to hate me because I'm probably just going to grab games that I want. I say that now, but there's going to be some games I'm going to grab just in case. Okay, so I just checked a roster of a team I know, and a guy is still there with a team out of Detroit. Trying to decipher some of these comments, but like Rebels going to be a team I want to watch, but they're playing at 4:30. Sorry, Mike. We're going to go with PF. I want to watch Beachy Construction, but they're playing at 6. They're playing at 6. So like that team, when we saw them play Bologna earlier in the year, holy fuck, did they just hit the ball?
Right.
I'd love to see Resi. I'd love to see Mikey Manning on the field. Like that's the kind of thing. Watch Scott Hartling. Like we haven't really covered much of Resi at all through this. So I'd love to do that. So that's kind of what I'm thinking for this weekend. How does that sound to you, Coco? Van Wert Frickers are going to be there. Fishhead's going to be there. So there's a lot of local teams that we're gonna be following here. And Fishhead's a team, Chad and the guys from Maryland. They follow us. They give us a lot of support as well, especially down the Mid Atlantic.
And I saw them up close and personal in the Firecracker when they came up here. So we've seen them. Yeah, I mean, when I can, I'll be able to. It might be like once the boys are in bed, once they go to bed those days. But especially once we get to some of those big names, big teams. So
I just don't know why you're adding me. I was just going to talk to you after we're not online, but
All right.
this is brutal. I don't know what's going on over here. I'm going to freeze.
Here's the thing. You're really. I'm enjoying this because I'm high and drunk, and I'm just enjoying this. And I love how, even with how bad your internet's been tonight, we keep throwing Coco on the.
Yeah,
bottom.
he can't be up here.
No,
I'm fine with that. I'm the third chair for a reason.
we're Eiffel Towering this little motherfucker.
Okay.
So D, I was just saying to Coco, how really just going to kind of spend some time this weekend at the conference championships and watch teams we want to, as well as the local ones. It's not going to be just follow PF. It's going to be follow PF, follow Mike Snyder. I want to watch Resi, Beachy Construction. Want to watch those guys hit again. Van Wert Frickers. Watch a lot of the teams that we've gotten to know over the year. Different events, different places, and watch them and broadcast some of those games. And hey, maybe grow the brand a little.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how it's done. Is it just another conference event, or do you know if it's split up into their own events essentially by class, or how is it?
You know what? Great question, Dustin. I see where you're going with this.
Because it wasn't on the website when I looked earlier.
Well, ask and ye shall receive, and thank God I don't have anything on this website.
All right.
Can't wait for it to remember your ad preference.
That's what I'm glad it's not. So here we are. We'll go through it real quick. NFM, nasty fucking mothers lending, taking on Dirty Vegas. This is the team you guys played out in ASAD. Or maybe,
Yeah, I don't know how
allegedly.
how many of the same guys are on the team, because I don't know.
But
Snyder would probably know.
Yeah, it is the normal conference. So here, Smash It taking on Rebel. This is a game I want to watch. Unfortunately, it's going to get pushed because of PF playing at the same time. Beachy's playing at 6. This is a team hits the fucking shit out of the ball. This is probably the best conference B team I've seen. Probably better than a lot of A teams, at least offensively, just from the little spots that I've seen and little spots of A teams I've watched.
That's a tough draw for them, playing JBL first, because JBL's been kind of doing some work this year.
Ball forward, who will ship to you anywhere in the United States. And then we get on down here. A couple of these games, whatever. Classic Glass, Epic playing in the Sunnies. West Point, True. True is always fun to watch. Roof X, this is probably a game I'm going to, Roof. Oh boy.
Yeah, that's
really
the PF game. I was wondering where you're going with that one.
Roof X taking on PF. That's going to be. That's tough draw.
Coming off the ASA Nationals win, it's going to be tough. That team was disgusting when we played them. That team was just gross. Gross. And even watching them, they looked better than when you were playing against them.
So that's and there's not much to say there.
Snyder, I might be available. Just saying. He says RoofX doesn't have a pitcher this weekend.
And then let's see here, prime time, straight play, don't really know those guys. Competitive Edge, Joe Blow and the boys. Not a bad little team there.
Someone backed out, I guess. Looks like.
Yeah, must have. Not sure what happened there. Wasn't really paying attention beforehand. I'm sure everybody's fucking.
I wasn't either, but it just you don't typically
Usually
see the buy one.
Probably take
They saw they were playing Competitive Edge, and they're like, "We're out."
Fuck this! We're saving our money.
In Florida, every once in a while, you'll see that too, just because it's such a huge tournament to get a normal-looking bracket.
Oh,
this isn't that big, but sometimes it just fits brackets better.
Or it does change by one, because I think everything is done through the computer anyway. So, yeah.
This is a game here. Chick-fil-A and Van Wert Frickers. I don't know. I might want to go to Beachy, Nitro Circus, Cheap Suits, and then finally Bay Area Legends, LSR. Into Resi. This game I'm probably probably grab Resi just because, again, haven't seen them play this year, haven't really broadcast them, and Delorge and Mike Manning, they've been so great to the podcast. They've been out, they've they've been helping us as well, trying to just grow this, interacting, and Mikey Manny jumping on here, and they've supported us a lot as well. Every time I see them, they always say some good words. So, want to give those boys as much support as possible. And then obviously Scott Hartling as well.
For sure.
Yeah, maybe we can do them later Saturday or on Sunday or something when they're because those early games might not be games from what we've seen from Resmondo this year.
And it's 7:30. I'm probably not going to want to be on the computer 7:30 on Friday night.
Very true. Very true.
Yeah, I promised the boys we'd watch Spider-Man, so I'm out.
Okay. Here comes
At
the exciting
7:30.
thing. Our girls are back. Our fucking girls are back. Our chaos bitches.
How many of them are you going to propose to this weekend? That is the question.
He only has a couple left.
I'm only going to keep it to Sasha Killings, because I think Sasha Killings and I would be a great pair. I think there'd be a lot of power, in our offspring.
Just throwing it out there into the universe. Really,
is this why you said you might not be married after this weekend?
Sasha
buried that lead.
I'm sending Sasha like tees, and new nets so she can do her tee work, and like new batting gloves.
And here we are Friday at 7:15 p.m. And he's like 7:30 is no good, but 7:15 looks pretty nice actually.
Yes.
I'm going to be busy at 7:15.
It's fine.
My wife has a
7:15
game.
looks good. It looks real good.
Yeah, that's why I'm not doing the 7:30 Resi game. I'm going to do the 7:15 Chaos game.
7:30 is booked still. He hasn't lied yet. 7:30 is booked because of the 7:15.
Oh, boys. Oh, maybe we should do this more often.
We do it once a week.
I don't mean getting together and on the podcast together.
I want whatever he had.
Yeah, I don't know what he's talking about now.
My sister can only watch now.
Can somebody take control? Oh my!
So I mean, here we're pretty much only going to be watching Chaos.
Yeah,
which is fine. Love those girls. Let's see, what are they looking at here? Chaos 7:15 playing at Lady SNI. That's a good game. And then I got no.
Smash It's on this side.
They're
so
still on this side.
The Derby girls, yeah.
I mean, you either have to go through Smash It or you're gonna have to go through La Familia, which is not great either way.
La Familia is on the other side, so you're looking at Lady SNI into Smash It Derby girls, which is that's a gauntlet, and then most likely seeing La Familia on the other side. I think.
Yeah, La Familia or
yeah, that's what I'm going with here.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is gonna come down to La Familia taking on Derby girls in the finals.
Could be.
I know I'm going out on a fucking limb here, anyway, right? Like, the 1-2 movie. Lady SNI, they've played well a year. I would love to see the Chaos girls make a run.
Bump them to major plus.
Too bad they're not a Conference A team and could go win an A ring, but I can throw that out there. I can do that.
Yeah, you can, of course.
Thank you.
If you're wondering what my visual looks like, I've frozen in the last minute, so I don't know what you're reacting to. I'm not angry at what you're saying. I'm angry at my computer. I'm angry at this internet.
I hear you.
Right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm here for the podcast, not for freezing. You know, this is the worst.
You know what, Dustin? It's okay, and you know why it's okay? Because we're gonna make you not angry anymore. Corey, do you have an MFK for us?
We do. Before we jump into it, though, we have one local team that is going to a Worlds. Gnarly Narwhals is going down to Texas. They have something the week that it's in Florida. I was talking to one of my teammates that's on that. So it's only 39 teams, but they are 5th in power ranking going into it. So there's 5 teams over 1,200. So good luck to them. They start on Saturday. Down in
That's
Texas.
awesome.
Down in
All right,
Texas.
well, good luck to the boys.
Yeah. And I do have
we'll
an
try
MFK.
to grab a stream of them as well.
Perfect. All right, you ready? Here we go.
I don't know, man. Like I gotta tell you, I'm starting to feel. I don't feel as angry as I did and belligerent.
Weird. You're starting to feel awesome.
32 minutes ago, you said it kicked in.
That's crazy.
Like I don't feel as like angry as I did. Well, it was also a bottle of whiskey, like 7 vodkas, and then 10 milligrams. At the end, like it got bad.
Just a fucking Tuesday.
Yeah, tonight was a couple of Mai Tais. Tonight, it's like 5 or 6 Arizona hard teas. You know, I spaced out the edibles at the right time. Why have I not been podcasting like this for 135 episodes?
I don't know. You guys come at me. We learn new things every episode. That's a sign of growth.
That's the thing I love about this podcast. We take feedback, we incorporate it into the show, and we also grow as hosts ourselves. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Whether that be drinking juice boxes because it's a school night, or taking more edibles than you think you should on a podcast night.
Hey, it's not 500.
Fuck. Like I'm
really
sitting
clear.
here, I'm like 10. I'm like, and listen, I understand like with the weed, I'm a one, you know, I'm a cheap date, but like this is 100. I think this would have been 100 if I took the whole fucking thing, and those guys took 500 milligrams.
Can you hear colors at that point?
No, you can't. You. I can't say what I was about to say.
Okay.
That Ohio hibachi guy was awful. He wasn't even a hibachi guy.
Oh my god,
He should have been
that custard Crisco that you had.
You go for it.
I guess it would be Crisco custard. Yeah, Mary fuck kill.
Would it be
Crisco
Chris Custard?
Oh, I thought
It would be Chris Custard.
Oh, jeez.
You're
No, it was like a
rag.
Crisco custard. Yeah.
They said
It
so.
was so
all right.
gross. Just go.
So-
go with the MFK. We've
We're
already talked about
no,
this
we're not going with the
fucking
MFK. Did we talk
disgusting
about this thing?
Flapjack of a buttery
A
mess.
yellow cum pancake.
Yeah, we'll do the
Go.
MFK. All right, so we're sticking in the food MFK realm. Chinese food, Italian food, Mexican food. MFK.
What kind of Chinese food we're talking about?
Chinese food.
Are we talking Chinese food? Are we talking shitty
Are we talking
local Chinese
China?
food? Are we talking the entire thing? We talking about like a good Chinese spot, like we're in
Oh.
Chinatown. We have to speak Mandarin to actually get the good menu. Otherwise,
Mandarin.
a round
Before
eye
we get
going in,
into
you're
it-
not getting anything.
Yeah, before you answer his question, I just have
Yeah.
a quick answer.
Yes.
I think I'm marrying Italian food,
Okay.
fucking Mexican food, and I could do without Chinese. I'll kill it.
I just came back from Chinese for dinner. Marrying Mexican.
Okay.
Marrying Mexican. Does the alcohol go with it?
Are you marrying it? Are you fucking it? Are you killing it? Are you
So
getting
like,
it?
but like, if I get rid
The
of
food.
You're not getting a Mai Tai at
Chinese.
an Italian restaurant. You're not getting a glass of wine at a Chinese restaurant.
right, so like that, I'm marrying Italian. I am fucking Mexican, and I'm killing Chinese because Italian.
There we
Look
go.
at all the different routes you can go. You can have
Italian
you
is
can have the feast
perfect.
of 7 fishes. You can have a fucking beautiful gnocchi. You have all the best wines in the world, and you get fucking olive oil.
And
Would you
bread,
just say
dude,
you're
the
fucking it?
bread is insane. You got a nice focaccia.
You're
And you
fucking
get
it. You're not
great
getting
coffee.
You're not getting all of those things. You're doing this is a one stop
I'm
shop.
marrying
for you
the
if you're fucking it. No,
yeah.
he's fucking it though.
No,
No, I'm marrying.
Oh, you switched
no,
it.
no,
You
no, no.
switched
He
it.
switched.
I'm
Yeah,
marrying.
you're,
Yeah.
you
I'm
marry the
marrying
Italian food every
All
single
right, so
time.
Plus,
I'm
have you
not.
seen the Italian women?
Damn it, Hayes. How is this even a question?
I'm not marrying it.
What are you?
Okay.
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
I'm going off of what I have most often. I'm marrying Chinese food.
Oh my fucking god! How the fuck are you marrying fucking Chinese?
Well, you wanted to marry Mexican food, which is just
I
everything
can
on a different
understand
type
marrying,
of tortilla.
Right, I can
No, it's
understand
not.
marrying Mexican.
Yeah, it's
It
everything on a
is.
different tortilla.
He's right.
No,
but
it's
it's
not.
really good. And if you feel like having it different ways, nachos. Fucking love nachos.
Yeah, it's still a tortilla. That's just
What
been
are
fried.
you? What are you?
No.
What are you marrying Chinese food for? What is it? The poo poo for one? The poo poo
No,
for
that's-
two?
That'd be so. Well, I couldn't do a poo poo for two.
What do you want? A fucking sing tao and some
cannibalizing
crab
itself.
rangoons?
Tell us what
don't
is
fucking
this?
tell me with a good time.
in the alcohol as well.
Right.
I don't. I want beer anyway. you
And
know
the
that.
women. That's fine. Chinese beer sucks.
Now, I'm going. I'm gonna
Yes,
stick
you're
with what
right.
it was. I'm going with
Don't
what it
let him
was.
talk.
I'm going with what it was. I'm going to. I think that a single Italian dish is what I would fuck. Make love to that. I might even have wine that night, and then I could get rid of Mexican food. Yeah, just because you're pretending you have Dustin's internet freezing over there.
I froze
I'm
a
not
little bit, but I'm
pretending.
back.
I kind of want to break another monitor after that.
Yeah, I don't understand.
Now you're
how
breaking the fourth wall. That was
don't
our
understand-
time.
That was our time. Oh boy, that was. I love you,
And so I did.
Dustin. Dustin, what the fuck is going on here? Like, I know. You and I just need to have a little conversation, just the two of us.
Maybe it's
No,
his internet.
You gave
No.
me this
We
power.
kick him out.
We got to
kick
get
him
rid
out.
of you.
Maybe it's his internet. I'm back.
You gave me too much power.
The only acceptable answers for Mary is Mexican or Italian. I can have either of those two killed, because while you think Mexican is very one-dimensional and there's only on tortillas, it's not. There's a lot of great Mexican dishes out there. There's a lot of different, outside of just tacos and burritos and enchiladas. There's a lot of great Mexican dishes.
Yeah.
Italian,
In a
same thing.
tortilla.
It's just not fucking pasta. It's just not lasagna. It's just not pizza. Yeah, if you want to take it in, you got tequila, you got great beer, Mexico has very underrated wines. Mexico has some great fucking wines. They got fucking chocolate. They got coffee. They got spicy chocolate. You got all the peppers.
Oh
you
my
go
God,
to Italy. Stop
spicy
it. You are
chocolate.
just, I can't wrap around. How do you kill
This isn't
one of
good.
these two? So then you go to Italy, right? You go to Italy. You get the
You go
fucking
to
women
Italy,
all.
huh?
You go women. They all dress nice. They fucking want to fuck you, and not me, but
don't wanna
like
fuck me.
hypothetically. Then
When I was there, I did not have that experience.
You get beautiful views, beautiful coast, vacation land. Italy brings you olive oil.
Yes, olives in general. Olives
Yes.
in general.
Olives are Greek.
But they have olive fields, is what I'm saying. They have it's all over the place. Olives are all over the fucking place in Italy.
Wait for this.
I
though.
saw that. I
Hey.
didn't see the women taking off their clothes and coming over to me.
How are you having pasta when it came from China?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Almighty.
I just don't understand. Like the proteins in Chinese food are just not great.
Well, you can have chicken. You can have steak.
I
You dog.
know, but they're
You're
not
cat.
cooked well. It's just
They
You're
can be
not
cooked
getting
well.
a straight protein dish in Chinese food. You're not getting a straight protein dish, right? Like, you're not going to
getting
go get a Chinese fucking rubbed.
Peking duck.
Oh,
That's a
Oh,
Chinese
that's-
protein dish.
that's-
That is a
the dish
protein
is
dish.
changed.
Beef and
I don't know.
broccoli. That's a pretty high
No,
protein
no.
dish, but that's
I
a
just
protein dish.
I just had pork and spicy green beans tonight. It was delicious, but I wanted it because Amanda's not big into Asian food. I was like, fuck it, I'm running across. I also wanted Mai Tais tonight. So it was just quick. And we're in Manchester, so there's nothing that's like, you know what I mean? Like, there's no like great like spot that I have found yet that I'm like, pho. Like, I want pho. I wanted something, and I didn't want to travel, so it was quick.
I just
did
don't
my
see how
job.
you can marry.
I did my job. I got us talking. I got you back to being mad at me. The world is right again. You're
Do
welcome.
you like being? I don't like being mad at you.
Italian food is just there's no other answer. I feel like he's just
I can
trolling
go
us.
either way. I can go either way, just because I feel like Mexican can. But
I was
it
gonna
can
say
be.
he talked you into this Chinese food thing.
Fuck no. I actually almost went Chinese food just because I had it, and I was like, and I'm fucking high again. You know, at the
Recency bias.
Yeah,
Boom.
recency bias. Thank you. Boom. Use my shit. No, I think I'm with you, Dustin. It's marry the Italian, fuck the Mexican, kill the Chinese, and
And
that is-
to be honest, the fuck the Mexican over the Chinese is just because I prefer Mexican food over Chinese.
yeah, I
That
agree
would
with
make
When you look at the last two that are left over, like they're both kind of like, you know, they're both kind of like meh when you're pairing it to Italian. When you're pairing it to Italian food, come on.
I kind of also went, if I'm going out to dinner, I'm going out to Chinese more than I'm going out to Mexican, and I'm going out to both of those more than I go out to get Italian. So that's kind of where I'm at.
but
I'm a simple man.
I'm
Italian can
fucking
be
ignoring
made at home very
do.
well as well.
it. Italian can also be very clean and light.
Yes.
Chinese.
You're getting the MSGs in there, Hayes. Come
There's
on.
MSGs
Settle.
in
That's-
everything. we eat.
MSG is great.
It's in
Now,
everything. It's freaking sodium.
If we were gonna do
Which we found out is good for you if you sweat a lot.
That or mustard.
if we were gonna do the women instead of the food, there'd be a little there.
Oh my God, we cannot go down this.
No.
We cannot go down this rabbit hole, can we?
I'll bring a non-food one for next week.
I've got one in my back pocket for when you're like, I don't have a great one this week. I've got one.
All right.
I'll do a non-food one next week. He says, he's like, all right, guys,
Why?
women, Chinese, Mexican, or Italian.
You can eat them both.
I gotta tell you, that's the thing though. Like, if you're like, tell you what, Russia's got the hottest women in the world.